So just starting off here, once again, you got Lamar Jackson in a situation where, like I said, in between the numbers, right? And I say that he plays in between the hashes because he pretty much does. He plays between the hashes. So you got your Z here. You got your fullback right here. So your H back, your fullback, or whatever. Looks like they got a tight end right here. Actually, they got two tight ends right here, right? So you got your X right here, backside. Got your running back in the backfield. I'm sorry, this is your Y right here, and then your H, right, and then your F. So essentially, what do we? Or sorry, your H, and then your F right here. Sorry, the writing's all messed up, but pretty much your X, got your F right here, your H, your Z, and then your Y, your Z, and then your H. So your H is your halfback, F is your fullback, your Y is typically your tight end. Sometimes I replace that as a receiver. Your Z, Y, X is the backside receiver, the weak side receiver typically. But once again, Lamar Jackson's working in a small window. You know, how do you expect him to really, or receivers to expand the pass game if he's working in a small window? As the play progresses, let's see how many options he gives on this. So you got boom here, play action. Now, I will say this. With play action, you typically do have two-man routes. But you have two receivers against five defenders. All right, and so this is not a favorable opportunity or advantage for Lamar Jackson to make a play. But if we continue to play, right, what does he do? He sits in the pocket. He's patient, right? Patient in the pocket, and he sees Bateman, who's healthy. It's a dog. They see him on the best corner of their team. He starts to spring open. He's not running a quick, comeback here or hook, wherever you want to curl, whatever you want to call it. But this is blanketed. He only has two options here. Two options to make a play. And what does he do? He sits in the pocket, and he makes the right read. It's just showing you the progression, just not progression, but the excellence of Lamar Jackson. Once again here, got the fullback, fullback coming in motion. Demarcus Robinson's blanketed, and you throw it to Bateman, and he makes a play. This team's a different team if Bateman is healthy. But where they go? They go right back to the run game after this. Boom, run the ball from the same exact thing, and, they get stuffed. All right, so another formation you got going on here. You got Bateman, right out here, who's your X. You got your Z inside right here. You got your F for card right there. You got your Y backside. Y backside. You got your H back here. So once again, Lamar Jackson working one side of the field, still working inside the numbers. Like it's really giving Lamar Jackson a disadvantage here, because once again, what's he to do? He has to play and make a tight throw in pass coverage. You're not setting Lamar Jackson up for success when you do this. But him being a solid quarterback who can throw the ball, right? So the play progresses. Once again, they send five. They play man coverage with I call it a high-low safety, and with a guy playing in the middle of the field. But Lamar Jackson, sits in the pocket, right? And what does he have? He has one-on-one, pretty much one-on-one matchups, right? So send five, drop six, and you got man coverage here, man coverage here, man coverage here, man coverage here. I think it was a good play call that sends them away from the middle of the field. A lot of times, when they have guys sit in the middle of the field, these defenders will play on the outside of the receiver to force them inside, to force them into inside routes, and because they probably want to get outside and they want to throw them to where they have pass coverage or just pass help. But once again, Lamar Jackson sitting back in the pocket here, and we talk about him not being a thrower. All these throws I'm showing are from the pocket. Stays in the pocket. Look who he throws it to. Mark Andrews catches the ball, and there was a PI on Duvernay. And it's a great solid throw. But if you see Lamar Jackson sitting in the pocket making solid throws, he's not running around. Like if you watch a lot of Mahomes throws, Mahomes is making throws and passes, on the run. Lamar Jackson sitting in the pocket and then making throws, inside the pocket to guys inside the hashes. That's tough. That's not easy. I want to show this play just to show you once again how Lamar Jackson is at a disadvantage here. You have a two-man route that he's pretty much going to operate here. Once again, everyone inside the hashes, which kind of sucks. If you're a defender, all you have to do is really guard the inside and make him go outside, and the sidelines is your friend. You got one receiver here. You got your tight end, so you have your Y backside here. You got your F, right? This essentially will be your Z. This will be your X, and this is your H. But you pretty much have one receiver on the field, and you're having Lamar Jackson going a 2.5-man route. I say 2.5-man route because the route gets jankled up. But if you see him go, boom. Now, Lamar Jackson already knows his two options are dead, right? I love how I talked about Brock Purdy in this one, how look when Lamar Jackson does his play fake or essentially a waggle, he snaps his head around really quick. As a quarterback, you want to snap your head around really quick. And what's he looking? He's looking at the pass coverage here. He's looking at the pass coverage here, right? His outlet right here gets boggled down. So he really only has two options to go. Now, if this guy was doing the out-breaking route, he's still running the coverage, but there may be a possibility he can throw it high right here and he can catch it. But that's not the case. Just to show you how, if Patrick Mahomes does this, we applaud him. But how smart Lamar Jackson's situation. He sees nothing's there. He sets, right? Because what's happening? His route is running in the coverage here. His route running in the coverage here. There's nowhere to go, right? So what does he do? He makes a quick decision. Now, in any other situation, this would be a loss with any other quarterback. And makes the play with his feet. Just think it's excellent that he continues to make plays with his feet, makes quick decisions. And as a quarterback, you can't hesitate in that situation. You'll see him look, pre-snap read, snaps the ball, right? Gets his head around quick, nothing's there, and then goes. Makes a quick decision. Smart football by Lamar Jackson. You want Lamar Jackson to make a play. This actually helps the passing game here. Now, you have a situation, right? Now you have two receivers to work with, right? You got Duvernay, you got Bateman, you got man coverage. They're locked here. So you pretty much know it's man coverage here. I don't expect them to play any type of zone here. If they did, they probably have a free safety right here to help. But you can definitely tell that this is man coverage. Lamar Jackson once again sits back. I say once again, it's really easy to throw the ball in man coverage, but I just want to talk about how tough it is to throw in with this type of package. You're gonna have a 2-man route. You got Mark Andrews. You got your Y right here. You got your I think I'm not sure Duvernay is coming in motion, but Duvernay essentially is going to be your Z. You got your X right here. Bateman backside. You got this is going to be your H, and this is going to be your F. I'm sorry, your F, and this is going to be your H. Once again, working inside the look how much space they're using. Working inside the hashes. It's just baffling to me that that's the space he has to work with to make a play. Now, Miami, once again, they're successful playing man against Lamar Jackson last year. What they do it again, right? Play snapped, right? Play gets snapped. And what does Lamar Jackson do? Sits in the pocket, right? It's a 2-man route. They only sent 2 guys out on a 2-man route. It's a 2-man route, right? It doesn't look like they did all-out max blitz. It looks like somebody's playing in some type of coverage here. Looks like he's going to get Duvernay on this route right here. He's looking at Ricard, but he sees Ricard blocking, so he's going to essentially, I guess, peel off in coverage. But if you look and see, boom, Lamar Jackson makes a throw on the dime against man coverage in a tight window. Of course, it's man coverage, but makes a throw in a tight window, and he makes a play. This is something that they didn't prepare for last year. They prepared for this year, but Lamar Jackson sitting in the pocket. Sitting in the pocket, making tight throws in tight windows, and making plays. We talk. Oh, Lamar Jackson can't throw in the pocket. That is complete just a foolishness because he's making throws and making plays from the pocket. So another situation, we got Lamar Jackson versus zone here. Once again, you have your. It's like you have pretty much your Y here. Your F is coming in motion. You got your H in the backfield here. Looks like they brought in 3 offensive linemen. That's 2 offensive linemen because you got your you got 2 tight ends here. So So this is actually going to be your F. Um, I don't want to say Ricard's the Z, but you got pretty much your X back here. So you pretty much have one option at receiver, and once again, one receiver on the field, but they're gonna make Lamar Jackson pass. They say don't go to Baltimore, because Lamar Jackson doesn't throw the receivers. They're not on the field. The personnel doesn't allow them to be on the field, and this is not an offense that only works with Lamar Jackson. This offense is an offense that limits Lamar Jackson's capabilities. But once again, he's turned lemons into lemonade. Here we go. Boom, play action fake. I mean, this play literally, once again, some of you guys probably don't. Some guys would probably look at this and say, oh, this is man coverage and not know it's zone. But this is just a deep third. He has deep third here. He has deep third here. He has deep third here. This guy's a bonehead because you'll see right here, Ricard leaks out in the backfield. Now, I wouldn't trust throwing that pass to a fullback, but he had faith because you got tight ends going to bring the guy across the field here, and you got Andrews. I want to say Todd Heat, but Andrews coming up the field. So you give him 4 options this time. What happens when you give Lamar Jackson options off play action? Well, he makes a tight throw and a tight window for a touchdown. 2 options here, right? And I say that because Lamar Jackson he's throwing the ball from the pocket. He's in the pocket, right? You got 2 options here. He sets his feet and look at this throw. Right, you're throwing a seam route, pretty much a seam route against deep third. That's almost nearly impossible. Only time I really see that happen is if you have doubles, right? You have 2, and then you have an option because the safety has to make a play. But what is he doing? This guy's holding the safety, right? The route that when Andrews came off, he came and boom, did it kind of like a banana to hold him. So if you're looking at this route, this is what they're doing. Tight end holds the safety here. He kind of comes in. You got Ricard coming right here. So this is almost like triples. And then the running back comes out of the field to leak, and you got an out route pretty much backside right here. This is a tough throw to make. If you look at that window, this is the window right here. Right, he has to throw it inside enough so this DB can't make a play. He has to get there tight because this safety is not even paying attention to him. He's going straight towards Andrews. But this is Lamar Jackson making throws in tight windows. I'm not making this stuff up. This is what he's doing, making excellent throws. All right, so you got Lamar Jackson here once again. You can obviously see what I would expect on this just from the way they're positioned. It's some type of 2 coverage. They're split in the field right here. So you got either quarters. You either got quarters or 2. From the way he's positioned, it looks like it's quarters. So you got 4 deep, and then pretty much a basic concepts right here. You got hooks to curls. You got middle of the field, hooks to curls, depending on their depth. But what's Lamar Jackson working with? You got a running back right here. So essentially this is your H. I think this is Kenyon Drake. So we'll say this is your F. You got your H here. You got your Y. You got your Z here, and you got your X. Right. So you got your main pass pretty much your main pass catchers here. But I just look in this read right here. If I'm him, I know that I'm gonna probably go short just because what I'm seeing here, how they're kind of sitting back. They're kind of sitting back. You got Thor, not Thor down is, but you got about maybe 6 yards to go. So they're giving them a little bit of room, trying not to get beat deep, keeping everything in front of them. But what does Lamar Jackson do? Makes a simple read, stays in the pocket, makes a simple read. They hike the ball, and you see him float out here. Now, what did they do last second? What did they do? They float down to 3. He's here. He comes down to 3. He shoots out to the flats to mitigate this. So this is not man. Most people think this is man coverage. This is not man coverage because he still has deep third. He still has his zone concept right here. And what does Lamar Jackson do? He throws the right window for the first down. The myth that Lamar Jackson is not making or can't throw the ball in tight windows, he's not a passer, it's just insane to me. If you look at the film, Lamar Jackson is making play after play with his arm and with his feet when he needs to. So sits in the pocket, makes an excellent throw. So they go back to they go back to man coverage here. How do you know it's man coverage? First thing, you got this guy here, pretty much man on. Now, what's the tricky thing? You have a D end out here. He's probably gonna try to get a rub on this receiver, but he's looking for that angle to kind of bunch Lamar Jackson in. And then you got two guys out here. So pretty much one guy taking the front, one guy taking the back guy. So the high-low concept right here, depending on how they work it out. But you see man cut. Lamar Jackson sees man, and once again, what is he working with? Everything pretty much inside the numbers, inside the hashes, everything tight. You got your X up here. You got your Z. Now what does he work with? He's working with 3 receivers this time. So this time you got your Y backside right here. You got this will be your H because it's receiver, and then you got your F, which is your running back, but he's your F. So once again, you see this tight space Lamar Jackson's working with. But as we go and watch the play, watch the film, they would switch back to man, and what happens here? Boom. Everybody's pretty much blanketed. Lamar Jackson doesn't panic. He stays in the pocket, sits in the pocket, delivers a nice throw, because who gets open in this triples route concept? Mark Robinson gets open. He has a guy in the flat here. He can throw inside here, but it looks like Xavier Howard's coming under. You have this drag route come across the middle. He's focused on him, but Demarcus Robinson gets wide open, and what does Lamar Jackson do? I'm not making this stuff up. Delivers excellent throw in between the safety and past the guy playing man coverage. If you look at the field, the field view, the front view, what does he see? Holds the safety with his eyes. Now, what does he do right here? Right, this is so smart, right? Lamar Jackson pretty much very well knew that he was going to go backside. But what did he do? Pre-snap read. He saw a safety. What does he do? He holds him. He's holding that safety with his eyes, right? Something come across the middle because he wants to create room for the space coming back here. He has guys coming back here, so he holds the safety as long as he can. Once he holds the safety long enough, he looks backside, right? And this moment of pause right here, you see the safety, he's starting to think now. He's like, oh, dang. Oh, man, there's nothing over here. It's dead. But what does he see? He holds it, and he sees what's there. Because if nothing's there, right, he can take off. Of course, they have a spy here just in case Lamar Jackson takes off, right? That spy is not helping you because the depth of these routes are going to take him out of the equation. So what does Lamar Jackson do? He sits, makes a quick hesitation to read, sets his feet, delivers a nice throw in a tight window. One tight and then, coiled up like a snake and then spreads out, to attack the defense. But that gets real predictable. Just showing, what Lamar Jackson's working with right now and how they say, oh, he doesn't have receivers to throw to, because there's no receivers on the field. So just kind of, if we play this, I want to show you guys how tight these windows are for Lamar Jackson. So Lamar Jackson has a fair pocket right here. He has a fair pocket. And I love the fact, if you see, he looks down and looks off of the receiver. So his first option that he looked the ball to here, Duvernay, is covered. Now he has this in the flat right here, and he has this route right here, but he sees man coverage. He has a lot of ways to go with this, but his main option right here is Mark Andrews coming across the field on this drag. Now, I want you guys to see this throw because people act like Lamar Jackson can't throw and he can't throw inside windows. If we go ahead and play this, right, he delivers the ball on the spot. Jimmy on the spot right here. And what happens? Mark Andrews, he drops it, right? But if you see at the end of this play, covered here, covered here, covered here, I like the idea that you go to your best man option. If it's man coverage. But once again, a good throw by Lamar Jackson, throwing in a tight window where people say he can't make these throws. So, once again, like I said, Mark Andrews drops it. But if we roll through it just from the front view, once again, here goes the formation. You have Ricard right here. Actually, it's a Kenyon Drake right here. You have Andrews right here. Looking at this front, everyone's pretty much bunched inside the numbers. It makes it hard for Lamar Jackson to make plays from there. Any quarterback to make plays from that formation. So it's not necessarily who's in it, it's the formation. But you see how he looks off. He throws to Mark Andrews, delivers a nice throw. Mark Andrews just happens to drop the ball. Next play, right? So they spread it out a little bit, right? They spread it out. They got a little bit more weapons for Lamar Jackson. You got Duvernay right here. You got Bateman right here, running back right here. So 2 receivers on the field this time. Mark Andrews right here. I think that this is either the tight end likely or a receiver. I'm not sure which one, but you're giving him a little bit more favorable, formation where you have receiver outside the numbers. You got your X outside the numbers. You got your Z right here on the front side. You got your H, right? H back in it. So you right now, or your Y, I'm sorry. Your Y. So now you have a little bit more traditional formation. And let's see what Lamar Jackson does with it. When you give him kind of that a little bit more room to work, let's see what he does with it. Yes, that was likely, right? Now, I love the quick read here. He senses the blitz coming, and Miami blitzed him last year. Senses the blitz coming. What did he immediately do? He immediately turned and threw to his wide open option because he saw his safety had to come down to make this play. They got man on coverage here, but you got a 3-man route for Lamar Jackson out of that spread offense, or just spreading the offense out, because you still have 2 tight ends, 2 receivers, and 1 running back. Tight end and 1 running back. So, like I said, Lamar Jackson's making good plays out here, and I don't understand what people are saying. First down throw right here, and then you see Bateman make a play. I love the fact that people say Lamar Jackson can't throw the ball. And if you look at it right now, there's no doubt that he knows that, hey, look, they're coming. They're coming. You got Max protect, so you got Kenyon Drake that's blocking, likely who's blocking, and you got a 3-man route. But I love Lamar Jackson, once again, if you look at him going through his progressions, right, motion comes across, goes right to where the blitz was, and Bateman makes a play for a first down. Great read, great play by Lamar Jackson. Once again, I said it's really sleeping on his ability to make plays in tight situations. Now, what do we have here again, right? We got H back. We got fullback, right? Receiver, running back, right? So now you have a little bit more of a traditional formation, but at the same time he's under center. And where's everybody? Pretty much bunched up right here. Everyone's bunched up. You're not using the whole field, taking advantage of the whole field. Now, of course, if you're the X, you got your X right here, and you got your Z right here. You don't want to get too wide because you want to use the sidelines, and the sidelines are your friend. But Lamar Jackson has been playing, and I hate to say it, pretty much in between the hashes. And if you look at this play, right, running play, boom. Now, how are you supposed to run the ball in a situation? Right now, great play, great run by Kenyon Drake, but this is pretty much what Lamar Jackson has been working with.